Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Remaking Door series. Today what we're going to be working on is, in the last part we worked on our Rush AI. So if we just go ahead and hit play test, we should see that we have a Rush AI set up now. So room 0, let's just go ahead and find the key. And then room number 2, the Rush AI, I don't remember if it was 2 or 3. And then the Rush AI, Rush AI spawns in, and we die when we get attacked by it. But in the Real Doors game, there's a death screen that shows up when we die. So to implement something like this, first what we need to do is we need to make an actual death screen. So to this, we're going to insert a screen UI. We'll just name it death screen. We will go ahead and insert a frame, and we can make this the whole screen, but we also need to cover the top too. So we'll go like this. We'll just drag it above a little bit, and then we will just go like this. So now if we hit play, this should be covering the whole screen. Yep. Okay, that covers the whole screen. So what I'm thinking we do is we have a little bit of a sound effect. So we'll make this like black, but we'll make it like a gradient type because we want to look. We're trying to make it look nice. So we'll put in a UI gradient. We'll just go ahead and make it go darker as it goes on, and we can put the rotation to 270 so it goes up. And you guys can customize this however you would like. I'm just doing this as an example. Actually, I mean that gradient kind of looks like trash. We'll change this background to white, and then in the UI gradient we'll make it black. So we'll go that looks alright. Alright, so first things first, let's go ahead and just get it working so that when we die, we insert the death screen into our player. So we'll put the death screen in here. We'll put it in replicated storage, and we will go inside the Rush AI's handler, which, as you can see, is just if we touch it, then we. And one other thing, in this part, we're not going to be making closets yet. That'll come in the next part. But I just want to make something. This got mentioned. This thing can't reach people outside of the primary, out of the particles, like the touch part. So we'll just go ahead and make it bigger. So it should cover the entire room. So yeah, if you touch any of this, then you will die. And we'll just go ahead and make that rate up higher so that it covers the whole thing. There we go. Alright. So let's put this back inside of replicate storage, and we will go back inside of the handler. So first things first, what we're going to do, we're going to define the replicated storage. Game colon get service replicated storage. Next thing we're going to do is, what we're getting here is we're getting the character, right? So what we need is we need to get the actual player. So to do this, we're going to go ahead and just say, let me think here. We're going to say local player equals game colon get service players colon get player from character, and then we'll put in h.parent right here. So what we're doing is we're getting the player from the character. So now what we're gonna do is we will say local new death screen. Actually, before we do that, we'll say if not player dot player GUI colon find first child death screen. Then so we're checking to make sure that they don't already have it in their UI. Then we'll say local new UI equals replicated storage dot death screen colon clone. Say new UI dot parent equals player dot player GUI. So let's go ahead and hit play, and now when we die, we should just get a black screen. Let's go test this out. So when we open this door, it should come up here and it should kill us. As you can see, it's coming, and we die, and we just get a plain black screen. I'm actually gonna remove that UI gradient because it kind of looks like garbage. So we'll just set the background color to black. But that dead screen is pretty boring. So we're gonna spice it up a little bit. We're gonna put in, let's see, death sound. Let's see what we can find here. It's kind of bad. What else we got here? That scream. This would work, and then we also need, let's do death fall. Like hit. Let's find a hit sound effect. I kind of like this one because it's kind of like a you died, so that's pretty good. And one other thing, if you want your sounds to sound different, so if we go into the sound service, you can put stuff. So like, you have no reverb on right now, right? So, but if you change it to something like hallway, and then you play these back, you hear like that echo. It sounds a little bit different, which I think sounds a little bit better. So yeah. Another thing we're gonna put in the death screen is we will put the reason how you died. So we'll just put a text label in here. We can make it 1,0,0. We'll just center it. And this will basically be the information how you died. So in this text label, we can name it info, and what it'll say here is you died to rush, or basically whatever enemy you died to will be in here. So we will just go ahead and do this. You can customize it however you would like. I think that looks pretty good. And there's tons of ways you can customize it. So if you want a nice stroke around it, you can put the UI. You can insert a UI stroke, and then you can, if we change this to like, let's say like we change it to orange or something, or like red, and then you can change the thickness of it, and you can basically make it however you would like. I'll make it like a gray. I think that looks pretty decent. So we could just make this nothing for now because there's no information in there yet. And then we will we'll make a new folder inside of the UI part. We will name this sounds. We'll put the scream. We'll name it scream. And then we will name this impact. So we have scream. And then we have the impact. So now what we need to do is when we create this new death screen, actually before anything, let me just go ahead and insert a local script in here. We'll name this sound handler, and we will we'll get the parent. So we'll say UI equals script.parent. Then we'll get the sounds folder. So we'll say local sounds equals UI : wait for child sounds. And then basically, as soon as this gets inserted, as soon as this gets put inside the player UI, we're gonna disable this code, and as soon as it gets put inside of the player UI, we'll enable this code and to play the sounds. So we'll just say sounds.impact : play, and we'll say sounds.scream : play, and make sure that code is disabled. So we'll just put that back inside of replicated storage, and we can go back inside of the handler, and we could say new UI.info. Actually, no, new UI. What was it? Frame. .info. .text equals you died to rush. So let's see how this looks now. It should look a little bit better. key. And then let's go ahead and enter room 2. And this should be when rush comes. So let's go ahead and open this. And rush comes. And it came up, but there is no... Oh, wait. I forgot. We didn't enable the sound. We didn't enable the sound script. So we'll say new UI dot sound handler dot enabled equals true. So let's go ahead and play this and see what it looks like now. All right, room number 2. And there you go. Pretty simple that screen. There is some more stuff that we will make, so let's go ahead and get into that now. Okay, so now what we're going to be adding is we're going to be adding the a respawn button. So basically right now it's just where when the player dies, it like after a certain amount of time they just respawn, but that's not really that good. We kind of want like a respawn button, and we also want it to make, we can add when we add this we can make it a like a future developer product to buy respawn, and so that the player can respawn. So as you can see right now, we get killed, but then we just respawn after like a few seconds, right? That's not really that good. We want a respawn button. So to do this, first thing first we're gonna do is we're going to disable respawn time. So to do this, you see, we're gonna go to the players in Explorer, the player service, and we're gonna scroll down in properties. So let me just drag this up. And as you can see, the respawn time right now is set to 3. But if we set this to just like put in a bunch of numbers, it should get set to like infinite. So numbers. So let's just hit play. Make sure that we don't respawn. One, and there's a lock, so let's find the key. And we will open up room number 2, and now we shouldn't respawn when we die. Let's go and see. Okay, we're not respawning, as you can see. We're just stuck on the death screen, and we can't do anything because we're not, we're dead. So now we're gonna take that screen UI, we're gonna insert it back into here. For now, we'll just put some text right here so that we can see where it is, and we will not only we have info, we'll have a new button that will insert, and we can name this button. Hold on, once I just position it. That looks good about right there. Just put it in the center, and we can name this button. We can name it respawn button, and you guys again customize it however you like. We could put some UI corners to make it rounded like this, and we can make it background 5. It's all up to how you would like it to look. Just put respawn. And now once we have that set up, let me just go ahead and do one more thing. Like that. So we have the respawn button now inside of our death screen UI. So first things we're going to do, we're going to insert a local script. We're going to name it handler. We're going to insert a local script inside of the respawn button and name it handler. So we're going to say local button equals script dot parent. Say button dot mouse button one click one connect function. And let me just figure out how I'm gonna do this. So let's try to insert a remote event inside of replicated storage. We'll name this respawn event, and we can just go ahead. We'll define replicated storage here. And we'll say game clone get service replicated storage, and then we could just say replicated storage dot respawn event colon fire server. We don't have to put anything in it. So let's go ahead and insert a service, a script inside of the server script service. We'll name this respawn event. We'll get the replicated storage. We'll say local respawn event equals replicated storage dot respawn event. And we'll say respawn event dot on server event colon connect function. And then in here we have to define the player that sent the that fired the event. We'll say if player then local character equals player dot character. And let me think. So if we say character colon is there a respawn function? Let me see here. Player respawn. Let me think. I'm gonna come back to you guys once I figure out how to do this. Alright, I figured out how to do it. It's actually pretty simple. We don't need this code here. All we need to say is player colon load character. And I think this should work now. So let's go ahead and test it out. Oh wait, let me get rid of this first. Put this back inside of replicated storage. Let's go ahead and see if this works now. Lock. And room number 2, so we should die. And now if we click respawn, oh, we respawn. Let's just make sure that that works again. Just let me just wait a little bit right after we die to see if that works. So room 0. Room 1. And room 2. So we die. And we'll wait. Nothing will happen. We don't respawn until we click this. And then we respawn. So this is actually pretty good because we can use this to make developer products for like costing Robux to respawn. And yeah, it's actually pretty good. If you want to add some sound effects to the button, we can just go ahead and get a click sound. This one sounds pretty good. We'll just throw that inside of our sounds folder, and then we can say respawn button. We can say local sounds folder. Local sounds equals button dot parent colon dot sounds, and then we could just say sounds dot click colon play. So now if we go ahead and run it and die. Oh wait, it's a key. And there we go, and we respawn. But there's a problem here. We're not respawning in the correct room. We're respawning in the start, which is just not what we want. So to fix this, we're going to do some things here. So to fix this, we're going to first things we're going to do, we're going to insert all of our hallways into our replicated storage. And next thing we're going to do is we need like a start point for all of them. So inside of ladder, the start point would be here. So it could be like right here, and we can just make this like this. And you can make the transparency to 1. And then you can set can collide, all this stuff to false. And we can put it inside of the ladder, and then we can rename it to respawn point. So once you make sure you do this for every hallway that you have, the respawn point in this one if it's a, it would be here. Okay, so this one would be here. And then we can just go ahead and drag this inside of right turn. Then we will take this one and we can duplicate it and put it inside of here. Take this, put it inside a short hallway. Like that, and then we'll just go over and do this for every hallway you have. And the last one, which is the left turn. And there we go. Alright, so let's just close all of these. And we will put them back inside of the possible hallways. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to create some stats for the player. So we're going to say, we can make a folder. We can name this player data. And we can insert a script in here. And we could just name this player added. So what we're going to add in here is we're going to say, game get service players dot player added connect function player. We'll say local new, we'll say local, we'll say local room equal, we'll say local current room equals instance dot new int value, and then we can just put it inside of the player. We say current room dot name equals current room. So now if we hit play, there should be a value inside of our player called current room, but we need to change this value to whatever room you're up to. So to do this, we can go back inside of that door, code, and when we open this, actually no. How are we gonna do this? When we trigger this prompt, we have the player here, right? So when we prompt.triggered connect function, and if there's multiple players, we'll do it like this. We'll say this. We'll say, because there's going to be multiple people in a server, if we have like 2, 3, 4, 5 in a single game. So to change this, we will just go ahead and say, let me think here. Function generate room. Room number equals 2. We could do this. Get out of the door script. We will put it inside of here. So we'll say for I player in pairs game get service players get children do if player find first child. We'll say this. We'll say local current room equals player find first child current room. If current room, then current room dot value equals room num. So now when we enter a new room, so as you can see it's 0 right now. So when we enter a new room, it should change our current room value to 1. Yeah, so current room value 1. Then this should make it 2. So this just keeps track of oh, that actually kind of scared me, I'm not gonna lie. So that keeps track of our current room value to see what room we're on. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna use this information for when we respawn. We're going to put us inside of that room. So what we're gonna do is we're just going to, for each room when we generate it, we're gonna create a new value in it called I'm gonna say local room string equals room val equals instance.new int, and we could put it inside the cloned room. and we just change roomval.name to roomval, and then we can set the value of it to the room number. So let's just run this and make sure that we have all of those put in here. So this should say 1, then this one should say 2, then this one should say 3. Okay, good. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to go inside of our respawn event server, inside of the respawn event script inside of our server script service, and we're just going to say if player then player.load character. We're gonna say local current room equals player colon find first child current room. If current room, then we will say local target room equals workspace dot generated rooms. Wait, actually, we'll say this. We'll say for I room in pairs workspace dot generated rooms on get children do. If room dot room val dot value equals current room dot value, then we will equals not single equals, then we will set the player's character humanoid root part to that respawn point in there. So we'll say room dot respawn point dot cframe. So let's go ahead and test this out now. So we have room 0, room 1, and then is room 2 locked? Nope. So just go right to room 2, and we should die and then respawn in here. Or actually, I'm not sure. Let's see where we respawn. Oh, and it didn't work. Respawn point is not a valid member of model. Respawn point. Is it not anchored? Oh, that's the problem. All of them aren't anchored. Okay, make sure you go in and you anchor everything, cause yeah, it's a stupid bug. Let's go ahead and anchor all of them. So now let's test it and see if it works. Alrighty. So just give me the key here. Okay. So we died to rush, and let's respawn. And as you can see, we don't spawn inside of the start point anymore. We spawn into the room that we died in. So that's basically how you add in respawning into your death screen, and how to make a death screen inside of your Doors game. So that is all for today's tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions or concerns, please leave them in the comments below. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. There's a lot more stuff that I want to add in regarding Rush. There's I want to add Jeff's shop. I want to add. There's just a bunch of stuff I want to add. So please feel free to subscribe if you like the video. Feel free to like the video. And yeah, that is all for today. And as always, I will see you in the next one.